On Valentine's Day of 2001, highly respected OB/GYN John Hamilton discovered his wife dead on their home's bathroom floor, strangled and beaten. At first, authorities thought the murder was tied to the anti-abortion hate group the Army of God. However, as time passed, suspicion of John Hamilton only grew, mostly when prosecutors learned that Hamilton's wife, Susan, had threatened divorce. Crime scene investigator and blood spatter expert Tom Bevel later debunked Hamilton's story of discovering Susan's dead body. Bevel claimed the blood spatter on Hamilton's shirt was consistent with Hamilton committing the crime himself. Prosecutors also brought to light a possible affair between Hamilton and a topless dancer. During the trial, Hamilton testified in his defense, claiming that he was covered in blood due to CPR he performed on his wife. When the trial was over, it took the jury only 2 hours to reach a verdict. John Hamilton was convicted of the murder and sentenced to life in prison without parole. In the 2012 Summer Olympic Games, Oscar Pistorius made history. He became the first amputee runner to compete at the Olympics. Although he did not win gold, he received tons of media attention for his achievements, being dubbed the Blade Runner. Less than a year later, he would make the news again. The once professional South African sprinter shot and killed his model girlfriend Reeva Steenkamp. On February 14, 2013, Steenkamp was shot 4 times through a locked bathroom door in Pistorius's home. Pistorius claimed that he thought an intruder was in the house and didn't know that Steenkamp was in the bathroom. "I was simply trying to protect Reeva," he said. In 2016, Pistorius was sentenced to 6 years in prison by a South African judge. In 2017, the ruling was deemed too lenient and was increased to 15 years by the Supreme Court of Appeal. Pistorius is being considered for parole, pending a meeting with Steenkamp's parents. Nathan Lewald, a former missionary and resident of Illinois, was sentenced to 80 years in prison for the murder of his wife Denise. According to prosecutors, Lewald schemed a plan to cover up his wife's murder by making the scene look like a burglary gone wrong. However, due to a too neat crime scene and odd behavior, Lewald was quickly the prime suspect in the February 14, 2013 murder. Prosecutors alleged that Lewald had planned to kill his wife to be with his mistress, 21-year-old Anna Dobalate. Dobalate was a Lithuanian exchange student the couple was hosting. The state's attorney labeled the murder a Valentine's Day present from the Lewald to Dobalate. He claimed that previous internet searches, such as how to silence a .40 caliber Glock, proved the murder was premeditated. Both Lewald and Dobalate have denied any romantic connection. On February 14, 2010, Richard Skoek drove to the park to meet his wife and exchange Valentine's Day gifts. When his wife, Stacy, arrived at the park, she found Richard shot to death outside of his truck. What seemed to be a random act of violence was proven to be a murder-for-hire plot only 3 short months later. Stacy Skoek had paid personal trainer Reginald Coleman $10,000 to murder her husband. Coleman and Skoek have received life sentences for the murder. Linitra Ross, a co-worker of Stacy Skoek who introduced Skoek to Coleman, also received a life sentence for her role in the murder.